Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Mark with My Front Range Living here in Colorado Springs, and today you are in for a treat, folks, because it is a riveting conversation today. The topic is homeowners insurance here in Colorado Springs, and we're just going to dive right in. We're going to go ahead and get started. So if you're thinking about buying a home in Colorado Springs, you're moving to Colorado Springs, or even more importantly, this is a big one for those of us already living in Colorado Springs, this is super important information. Was talking with an insurance friend of mine a few weeks ago, and he brought to my attention something that I hadn't really thought of before. And that is your home properly insured? Now, obviously, it's an insurance agent, right? He's like, Mark, you need to buy more insurance. That's not what he was saying. He says, your insurance is fine, but with the home values that have risen the way they have, specifically over the course of the last 2 or 3 years, home values are way higher, which means if you insured your house at one price point, it's easily worth far more at this stage. Are you actually underinsured? That was the concern, and that was the conversation we had, right? So, for example, in 2018, you go out and you buy a house for $400,000. That's awesome. That's great. Well, that house could be worth $600,000 now, right? So, that's what started the conversation. He's like, you might want to let your folks know if you get a chance, just to look over the policy, right? So if you go, for whatever reason, you have a loss, right? So if you were to have a loss in Colorado Springs on that same $400,000 house, it now costs $600,000 to put that house back. You're underinsured. So it might be a really good idea to reach out to your insurance agent and just say, hey, can we review the policy real quick? Because that value increase is actually pretty nominal to cover from an insurance standpoint. It doesn't cost that much. Really inexpensive to have the appropriate coverage for the value of your home. If you don't live in Colorado Springs and you didn't know it, we have what's called a wind and hail deductible. That's right, we have wind, specifically this year. Windy. Windy is just windy all the time right now. It's we're tired of the wind, that's for sure. But we have what's called a wind and hail deductible. So what that means, so we're a high-risk state here in Colorado. So what that means is we are susceptible to hail, we're susceptible to fire, and we're susceptible to wind. So the insurance companies are not in the business of losing money, so they adjust their premiums accordingly. So the wind and hail deductible is, so your house were to burn, you pay your $1,000 deductible, and they'll rebuild the house. Again, make sure that it's the right value, like we were talking about earlier. And then you get your house rebuilt, right? Great. Wind and hail. So if you have hail damage, they're charging, insurance companies now charge a percentage of the value of your house, typically 1 or 2%. So on that $600,000 house, that 1% deductible is $6,000. So that's what you're paying out of pocket to have any hail damage replaced. Now, what spurred that on was several years ago, seasonally, we will get hail in Colorado Springs, and hey, people were like, yeah, I have a $500 deductible. Here's $500, replace my roof, or paint my house, or replace my windows, whatever hail damage I incurred. Well, as they did that over and over and over and over, insurance companies took note, and they're like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. So we became a high-risk state, and the premiums went through the roof in the form of a 1 to 2% hail deductible. So just food for thought. We're just a little bit different insurance structure, and we're in a high-risk state, as I mentioned. Hey, I know that's a lot to take on, but like I said, it's definitely worth reaching out to your insurance agent and just getting a quick review of your policy to make sure that you're appropriately covered, especially when it comes to that homeowner's insurance. As always, we hope you found value in today's content. It would mean the world if you went below, clicked on the thumbs up there, gave us a like on the video today. It would mean even more if you clicked on the bell down there and subscribed to the channel. We're putting out content every single week to help you make Colorado Springs feel like home. If you are thinking about moving to the area, if you go in the description of the video down there, you will see a link for a relocation guide. That's yours. It just gives you a little more information about some of the different areas in Colorado Springs and some of the areas that might better fit your criteria as you look to make that move. And if you want to go even farther into that search, you can click the link to our website while you're in the description of the video. And just at myfrontrangeliving.com, hit that up. You can search for homes there. We have great opportunities for restaurants, things to do, places to go, people to see in the city. It's just a wealth of information for you as you make your way out here to Colorado Springs. And you can search homes just through that search at the top of the website as well. So myfrontrangeliving.com, we have a direct link in the description of the video down below. Thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day.